Good evening, everybody. This is Yolanda Hinton, and we're here, FYI After Dark. For your information, we are here trying to get things all put together for you all for tonight's show. I'm Yolanda Hinton. My co-host is here, Edward Everett. And guess what? We host FYI Radio Show Morning Show live. We come on Peace 95.3 FM, WGPL 1350 AM, WPCE 1400, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live. And I want to welcome all those social media uh, platforms this evening with our After Dark show. I hope you all are tuning in. Come on, make sure you comment, make sure you share, make sure you like, so we can shout you out. Please get into the dialogue and try to just try to be a part of what we're doing. I'm trying to add our guest.
Here she's coming.
I think she's coming in.
She's there.
Oh,
She
there
goes.
she is. And I hope she can hear us. I'm not quite sure.
She's look like she's on real time now.
Okay. So, Mr. E, I want to say good evening to you. How are you this evening?
I'm wonderful. I want to say good afternoon to our listeners, and thank you so very, very much for tuning in to After Dark with our host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host, and we want to say thank you to all our social platforms that we're on, and to let everybody know. Thank you, Mr. Mark Howard. Yes, Mr. E, know that the gang come on at 8 o'clock. I don't need no reminder.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I want to welcome our guest, Miss Rhonda Cheryl Jackson. I want to know if she can hear us.
Yes, I can.
Very good. It's good to have you on. I tell you what, it's been a minute. You're looking great. We met Rhonda a few years ago when we started FY Radio Show, and she was just as sweet as she could be, and also so willing to help us as an intern. You know, she's doing great things, and she's an author of a book, and I can't wait to talk about it. But Rhonda, tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the things that you do.
Well, I went to an HBCU local around here, and you may know it, Norfolk State University, where I honed my skills. And I majored in journalism, so I love to write, and it opened a whole new world of writing to me. And my teachers there encouraged me to write. I learned about a lot of famous Black authors, and I wanted to be just like them. Toni Morrison, things, people like that. So I wanted to dabble in writing. So I took many storied writing courses, the Muse, art theater, things like that. And people were told me that I was pretty good at it actually. So, and so I dabbled in it. I got a couple of things published. Uh, I first dabbled in it at a free press, publishamerica.com, and they took a risk on me, and Amazon.com took my book, and then Amazon.com and Barnes and Noble and everything. It really, I was really shocked that they really wanted to publish my stuff, but I was really flat. It was really flattering. My friends and family, they were like, yeah, you can do this maybe.
Yes. I mean, I can imagine you were creative as a child because usually, as a writer, you love reading. It's not just about, becoming an author, but usually when you're young, you are intrigued with books and characters and all kind of things. Did it start young for you?
Yes, it did. I loved all the great novel. I loved all of the short, intricate novels and history. Um, uh, the fairy tales I started off with. I like those. I even have a children's book I've written as African centric because what I saw was when I was reading a lot of it, we were underrepresented. So I wanted to write something that was kind of toward a more African like tilt. So when other people like me could read it and understand the lingo and everything to it too. So I did enjoy reading. My scores in English were good. My parents, I helped my sisters out with their papers all the time. They really
Very
appreciated
good.
the upper grades and stuff.
I want to talk about the book. I love this title. It says Love French Canadian Style. You got to tell us what that's about. I know you mentioned in your bio that it kind of leans toward what's happening now with the royals and interracial marriages. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's all about, this particular book?
Yes, well, it dates back to a little bit before the Meghan Harry fiasco, pretty much, when Will and Kate were getting married, and this is another interracial couple, but it still reflects what they're going through, because some of the hardships were with the acceptance that they didn't find with other when they walked amongst others, and some people scoffed at them, and they felt they had to leave and things like that. So it's like almost like ripped right out of the headlines. It's identified with what it is, with what's happening going on today. When I see that he wrote about it, it's like almost like, gosh, maybe I should. It's like it came to pass. This book, really.
So, how
So
soon did you write this book? Was it something that you started a few years back, or is
yes,
it
it
a
did.
recent
Yes,
writing?
it was a start. I started a few years back, and I did some revisions to it, and I wanted to. I just felt it was a good time to maybe reintroduce you to the public and things, just to see where it fit now, because like I said, the headlines are just filled with the royal rift and everything. So
Yes.
why
Why
not?
did you decide to write this particular book?
Well, I had a fascination with travel and wanting to go to Europe and see what it's really like. It was one of my childhood fantasies was reading those. Like, started off reading about fairy tales and living in one of those
Yeah.
castles, I suppose. But it's just what. But then I got realistic with, and when I got older, I went to, of course, like I said, um, HBCU, and I experienced what a lot of Black writers um, contributed to, uh, what they had to offer to the spin on it. And I saw a lot of and I dated and I did interracially myself, so it
Wow.
helped formulate a lot of what I was myself experience through the book.
So, what did you learn dating interracial? Because, I mean, some people would say, oh, it's so different, dating out of your race, or, you know, the people are different. But I have also in my life dated interracial, and I didn't know if it was a big difference. Tell me your experience.
My experience is that they just want to be accepted and loved just like everybody else.
Mhm.
They want to have someone to call their own, someone to go to the beaches with, hang out with, just like everybody else. It, People always, just because people want to stare at you or make something of it doesn't mean it's because we have people who are the same race and still don't like each other. I mean, there's a lot of
Yes.
couples that seem like they just don't get along and they're the same. And
That's
the people who are, get along and stay together. I have my family members that have gone along for years, and they're still together after many years.
wow. Yes. It sounds like a beautiful story. Let's talk about how the making of a book as an author. You've done this book, you've done children's book. How much work goes into writing for you?
Well, I like to create an outline. It just gets my thoughts together and how where I want to go with the story, and then I can refer to that outline so I don't go off on like tangents, and I can loop everything around and to make sense of the story. As you have a tendency to kind of like put things into to go off like on different things. So I like to make an outline, what chapters I want to do, what the storyline is going to be about, what twist it's going to turn, and it's going to have in it, and then make the dialogue as I see fit.
Absolutely. Now, the vision that you see when you are writing, do you see it going to the Barnes and Nobles? Do you picture it going across the country, especially with technology now? We can go around the world. When you're writing, did you have those things in mind? You said you was kind of surprised that, wow, they wanted my book, but did you have that vision for yourself uh, in the first place?
I did because I converted most of my books to ebook format. So you can download a lot of these things to the Nook or the Kindle. I have Kindle editions to these same stories available right on Barnes and Noble and Amazon.com. So I was thinking about those things. You can buy them as far away as in Japan, just browsing on the internet. So and you can get them delivered to you in paperback form too, if you like.
Wow. Now, do you feel as though you're going to make this book a series? I can see a series with this the book Love French Canadian Style.
That's
Part
exactly what I
two.
mean.
What do you
You took the
think?
words right out of my mouth, because I was thinking about making continuing it on, and to another book, and maybe a second and a third series of book.
Yes. Tell us about your children's book, because I've written a children's book too. It's been fun. It is going to be a series of books, but tell us why you wanted to do a children's book.
I wanted to do a children's book, like because I said like before, I didn't see a lot of children's books when I was younger, reflecting images of me as a African American kid, and I wanted to be able to identify with someone like me. So I just decided to pick up things that I did as a child,
Yeah.
and I was um, mostly I went from base to base, and I was in a military trial, so I was stationed in a lot of places when I was a little kid. So I was thinking about doing something along those lines. So I like to travel, and exotic places are good for me. So because I did that when I was younger as well.
What would people say if when you talk to them about writing and they say, well, look, Rhonda, you got all the time in the world. I don't have any time for writing, but I really want to. How do you take the time? Do you do it weekly, monthly? How can people that are working a full-time job get into writing if that's a gift for them?
Well, it's just one chapter at a time. You can do it late night. You can do it in your pajamas. Just on the weekend when you have spare time. The book, right? The book comes together practically by itself. You can just, like I said, you have an outline. You have the idea already in your head. It's just a matter of putting it on paper. So those times when you got downtime on the weekend, or maybe even spare time overnight when you're up night, maybe insomnia, maybe your child is sick, or maybe just up. Go
Yeah.
ahead, put the pen to paper, and type it up, and put it on your jump drive, and you'll be able to get that book finished. You will be.
Absolutely. What in your life's journey has prepared you to be an author?
Well, like I said, my extensive schooling. I went to graduate school at Strayer, and I've dealt with a lot of uh, administrative part and leadership skills, and um, uh, that helped me with a lot of things I did. Mostly my extensive schooling and the groups I've joined on Facebook. I do a lot of book writer groups on Facebook. I, I've met up with other writers, my friends. Pretty much have the same degrees I do, so we draw from each other with ideas about what books we would write about.
Absolutely. Now we're getting ready to have our Valentine's Day for all the lovers. Does your book go deep into the love zone, honey?
Yes, it does. And there's actually a happy ending.
That's great. I mean, so this book covers, I think you said travel, romance. How about drama? A lot of drama.
The drama, yes, the drama with the acceptance of the problematic with the interracial issue. So it's a little bit of drama with the families and stuff, and then of course the friends. But overall, love conquers all.
Yes. Who would you recommend this book for?
Oh, teens, young adults, people just want to people who maybe are experiencing going through something very similar, who want to maybe who are maybe dating out who are considering dating outside their race, and and want to I mean and just they just want to have a good read maybe late night, and they're sleeping in their bed, and they just want to get an idea maybe what to look for,
But
and
you know, some people are afraid. You know, all the stereotypes. You are being a traitor. You know, people. I hear that people are saying you're not keeping it real. You know, but the thing about it, the pickings are slim for a lot of, especially African American women. You know, what makes people pause at the fact of caring and loving someone else that don't look exactly like them or don't have the same skin color. Why is it such a strange thing?
well, it's such a strange thing because people make it a strange thing. If you're not making it a strange thing, I'm not gonna make it a strange thing,
Mhm.
because people are people and they're gonna talk no matter what you do. So if you want to do, so just do what you're gonna do. Go with what you want to do. Because I've had people in my family talk about others and that have dated interracially. They seem happy to me. So why should I become preoccupied with someone else's happiness? Make my own self happy. Don't be worried. Don't be making other people miserable because you're miserable that they're so happy.
Do
What
you?
about fears of the past, though, Mr. E? You know, people sometimes say, okay, I'm going to be, talked about, persecuted, fears of what people might say. Mr. E, how do you look at interracial relationship?
Do you think that a
Well,
lot of people, Miss Rhonda, do you think that a lot of people um, has what they call they think about the days of old, how one
the
might
stigma.
have been treated, they
Yeah.
stereotype, how one might have been treated in the days of old before they get into an interracial relationship. Is there any guarantee that in an interracial relationship there won't be no name calling, that won't go to the left with it when they get angry? Is there any way that they're going to call names that going to create a problem that's going to hurt folk? In your book, are you defining that the name calling, or if they get angry with one another and they walk away from each other, that they won't be discriminated?
No, actually, when my book, I do address it. I do
Okay.
address the fact that um, they are picked on and they are singled out because of it. And it's no
Is
different
it
than what maybe Megan and Harry go through, and they feel like they have to like hide or something like that. But that's today.
now?
That's not yesteryear. That's right now. So
Yes.
going forward, you're going to have. I mean, if you want to get it to get better, you just people just going to have to just accept
Do you
what
think that?
what's out there because they're going through it. I'm going to go through it, and the only way we can all get through this is if we just learn to accept that people are just people.
Do you think that
Yes.
Harry and Meghan should have pre-informed their folks before they decided what they're gonna do, or do you think that folks just do it like Magic Michael Jordan said, just do it? Do you think that folks are not really looking at the family and how the family may receive it and where they may be in that interracial league, blacks and white, Hispanics? Do they really? Do you think that family members are really, um, really thinking about the long road down ahead in this relationship?
I think the family is thinking about what makes their child happy.
Okay,
What is making them happy? And if that means they have to go outside their race, that is what's making them happy. If you're stuck with the same, if you're dating the same person or with the same race person, and you're miserable, and you feel like you have to move on, that that is not conducive with the program.
okay.
So
Wow.
you end up, so you end up almost like that is a complete waste of time. You're the same race, but you still don't like each other,
And
and you're
did
at each other's throats.
Yeah.
So
did
Did you look at
families will come together and they
mhm.
will accept your choice if you are happy.
Absolutely. Did you get a chance to look at the documentary, Harry and Meghan?
I watched bits and pieces of it. They did, and she did. They did actually go to their families, and before they made an announcement and everything. And they seemed kind of accepting at first, but then the British press,
Yes.
and when it hit the elite, it seemed
Yes.
like that's when all broke loose. That's when that happened.
Yes. I was really surprised though. Not surprised, surprised, but somewhat surprised because, England and Europe is just a little teeny bit different than we are. I just figured since there are interracial families in England, that it wouldn't be a big thing that they would be used to that type of relationship. But it just kind of puzzled me at some of the things that they said about even the color of the children, if the children be darker. It just kind of surprised me. Did it surprise you that those issues would come up in that family with England being kind of ahead of us in some ways?
Yes, it did. Since he's further down the line than the other one was. I mean, he's like the what seventh or eighth. Why is it? But I mean, that not to make it any less conducive to the program, but it just but he's further down the line. There's no way. I mean, he's really going to get that crown at all. But they're worried about the tone of the children. I mean, I don't under that really threw me. That threw me as well. So I just like.
Absolutely.
I
Did
mean,
you go
Megan's
through?
really a high yellow woman. I mean, at first when you look at her, you
Yes,
don't see
absolutely.
you really don't see a dark woman like
Yeah. Did
she's.
you go through anything like that as you dated interracial? Is there anything in the book that reflects your experience as far as, people giving you that side eye or throwing shade?
Yes.
Wow, amazing. You know, um, I don't know. Miss E, did you mute Rhonda?
Excuse
Okay.
me?
Okay. I was just wondering, in your experience, that you experience the side eye. I think you were muted after I asked.
Yes, I did experience some side eye,
How did
but
you how did you handle when people kind of like looked at you and like, why y'all together type of thing?
I kept on going. I didn't just ignored it and just went on. People, like I said, people are going to be people about it. They're going to talk about you no matter who you is, what you do.
Mhm.
And, that's just the way things are. And the way like you said, some of these brothers, they just, I don't know. I really saw it when I went to an HBCU. The way the brothers are just all over the place, and I'm just like, oh, come on now. I don't want to put it down. I
Yes.
don't want to put it down, but I was just like, they're not. They got why aren't they more focused? I just
Yes.
more focused. I just
Now, when, when you
go
Mr.
ahead.
E, I
started
can't hear
dealing, when you started dealing with,
you.
can can you hear us,
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Miss Rhonda? Can you hear us?
She said,
Yeah.
Okay. When you started dealing with the interracial person yourself from firsthand, how did your family receive? Are you and your, you can say yes or no, are y'all still together today? How did people receive you?
Well, no, we're not still together today. And actually, but is my preference is actually is toward more towards a black man. But it doesn't mean I have in the past the version, but I just but that
yeah.
is not I mean that is but my preference is for my own because they seem to I don't know just identify with me a little bit maybe with more but at the same time my family doesn't seem to bother me either way because of the way my other siblings have accepted other members of my family
And let
Wow.
me break up.
interracial
Let
dating
me
too.
break up. Did you have
Now, how can folk get your book, Rhonda?
Excuse me.
How can people get your book?
It's on barnesandnoble.com. Let's see here. Put it down. Yes. It's on Amazon.com and also barnesandnoble.com under Rhonda Jackson. And I can type in my URL.
That'll be great.
Let me do that real quick for you.
Yeah, that would be great. In the meantime, I want to say hello to Mark Howard, Colby Hurd. Tracy said, I hear an echo. Yeah, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Um, Colby Hurd. Let's see, who else is up here? Misty, can you see on your side who's here? And I think Rhonda has gone away for a minute, but she doesn't have the shakes. It's just the cameras and everything not working well on her part. But if you all have any questions for Rhonda, she's an author, Rhonda Sheryl Jackson. The name of her book is Love French Canadian Style. And she said it kind of like goes hand in hand with what we're seeing now with the royal family, Meghan and Harry, their lives as an interracial couple. And that's something we really need to talk about, Mr. E, because you would think in 2023, folk would be over it and that folk would be okay with whoever people love and whoever people want to marry. Mr. E, you cannot be heard.
You would think for 1 second that it would be all right for blended for them to become to this point where there would not be any racism. You know,
Mhm.
I really think that racism is here to stay. I really believe that
Yes.
racism is here to stay because they're they've been brought up in that era,
Yes.
from generation to generation. People has always been distinguished between a black and a white and a black. They always had problems with the racism, with the color. You know, they always had problems with black folks and white folks in lifestyle. You know, they might
Mhm.
was born at a younger age and not paying that in mind because babies don't know anything about it. Little
Mhm.
children don't know it. They all know that we're all equal. But somehow
Mhm.
or another, as they begin to develop and get a little older, they start to experience the difference between black and white,
You know.
Hispanic. They
Mhm.
start going through the racism, the different nationalities of know that are red, green, purple, black, and white, and then
Mhm.
they started asking questions: why? Why are we so different? And then you look at history, and then you see that history, what happened during history, then that makes them to be standoffish. When I began to look at
Mhm.
Meghan and Harry, I said to myself, you know, there are people that are in London that are African Americans per se. There are people that are all over the world that have a dark skinned color. But why is it, Miss Hinton, that when we get older, we start looking at that history of blacks and whites and Mexicans, and
Absolutely.
where we cannot just get along because of history.
I can understand people, having their, the things that, they believe in. Oh, I don't believe the mix the blood. I don't believe, but people take it too far, Mr. E and Rhonda, when they start hurting hurting folk and abusing people. Oh, you with that person, I need to knock you upside your head. Or you with the other race, you a sellout. When the abuse comes, that's the problem I have with anything. A person is going to believe what they believe,
That's
but
right.
then it goes to the next level wherein you want to take my rights away as an individual, and you want to make my life a living hell. And that's just like, it's a form of bullying. It's like, wow, nobody can be different. Nobody can do the opposite of what you believe in, or else, there's going to be repercussions. And that's not the way life should be for us. People should be able to love who they want to love without someone hurting or harming them. So, Rhonda, did you get the information about the book?
Yes, I put it in the chat.
Okay, excellent. So, Rhonda, tell us anything that you want us to kind of like take away, or we got Valentine's Day coming. Anything that you want to inspire or tell us at this point?
Yes, I want y'all to all have a happy.
I'm sure she said she wants us to have a happy Valentine. Um, you know, we're going to actually in February, we're going to be doing our Valentine's Day segment. We're going to have our love doctors on, and we're going to have couples that kind of like want to talk about their love thing.
That's
And
right.
so
That's right.
we want you all to join us in February as we, you know, uh, you know, celebrate Valentine's Day. Mr. E, he tickles me because Mr. E always feels as though women get everything,
That's right.
And so we're gonna in this segment in February, we're gonna encourage women to really go all out for their man. Go
You know,
all
you
out and give them the things that they really, really, really want. What do you
you
think
know
about that, Mr. E?
when you look at Valentine's Day, and you say it's for heart, it's for lovers, it's not just for the woman, It should be for both people, the man and the woman.
Can you add her in?
She should be popping up now.
Okay, I'll add her.
There she go.
Mhm.
And so
Yes,
she
I
should.
wanted to. Yes.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
when you look at Valentine's Day, Miss Hinton, when you started looking at what's going on with Valentine's Day, one of the things that you got to remember, men, some men want the balloons and the candy and want to be treated, like they're somebody special, and not just because it's the Valentine's Day, and they have made it that it's only for women. If you
So
don't think,
Rhonda, we're talking about Valentine's Day coming up. Oh, she's gone again. And Mr. E,
I think I took my.
I agree with you. I agree that it should be on both sides. But see, you all started that, Mr. E. You
No,
all
I don't
started
think. I
giving
think,
us the flowers and the chocolate and the gifts. And, that's what we expect.
but Miss Hinton, I don't think that we did start it, but in return, I believe that if one did it, the other one should do it.
Have you heard did you hear the conversation, Rhonda?
Yes, yes, I hear it. I hear you
Mr.
talking.
E is into saying
If
he's
I
always
did it
saying
for
that
her,
women get everything and the men get the short end of the stick. What do you think about that?
I think men get just as much as the women do, not more. Yeah,
Hey,
we
you hear
get our
that, Mr.
time,
E?
our undivided attention on that day. That's good.
Think so. I think it's, but I don't know. Mr. E has a group of guys and they always feel as though they're just getting the dollar store trinkets and the dollar store sock.
that's
Don't ever get good gifts. But I think men, they kind of, if I feel as though they tell uh if a man tells a woman what he wants, and that's one of the problems, I think, Mr. E.
well. Let's all
Mark,
look.
I don't know, you guys that are on. I think one of the problems is that you all don't tell us what you want on these beautiful special occasions.
You don't tell us what you want on Valentine's Day. A lady does not tell a man what she want on Valentine's Day. But the greatest gift that people stereotype and says you got to bring some candy home, you got to bring some flowers home, you got to bring some teddy bears home, and they're all
Yes.
dainty things. They're all soft, cuddly. What a man look like holding a teddy bear. What a man look like eating a box of candy with a heart on it. Well, it's all
He
fine and
looks
good.
sensitive and he looks like he's ready to love his lady. That's what he looks
But see,
like.
when a man does that, and she gives him that, she has to present that to him to let her know, hey, look, you for me, I'm for you for me, and I want to present this to you and give you the best. Don't go down to the dollar store and buy that man some brake fluid and some screwdrivers and a hammer and a nail, and so that he can continue to work. Take that man and buy him something nice, pair of pants and shirt that that he can be proud of and say, hey, my boo bought this for me.
I tell you what, Mr. E, in February, we're gonna be talking about all that. We're gonna see if we can bring the ladies up, and make sure they know
Even
exactly what their man wants. But we're gonna encourage men to be more vocal now. If you get something from the dollar store, you can just say, look, next year, sweetheart, let's not do the dollar store. Let's go all out. Let's make sure we spend at least $100 on each other.
here
Set some
you
rules, some
here,
boundaries.
here you put us at the ham to say, hey, let's not do. Why can't you, as women, knowing your man, knowing your husband, knowing your significant other, knowing your boo, and just say, hey, look, I know he'll like this. I know he would appreciate this. I know. Just go out to the deep end and say, I'm going to get this for him for Valentine's Day. Oh, he would love a nice necklace. Oh, he would love a ring. He would love a bracelet. Instead of asking the man, and you know a man going to say, oh, well, because we are not the type of creatures that will say we want this, we want that, we want that, and we
That's
want
the
this.
problem.
We need you. You do not tell, you do not tell your man, hey, look, I want this for Valentine's Day. You don't do that. All you do is he comes home with some flowers, with a box of candy, with a teddy bear, with a
Yes,
necklace for her,
balloons,
and he take initiative on himself to make
money.
sure that you got it.
I think that's
But
marvelous.
see, but it's supposed to be a flip side to that. If you want to make it balanced, you take the initiative and you go out and say, hey, look, I'm going to get this for my fellow.
But you know what? Some men don't want the material things. They want that woman. They want that love. They want that affection. They
So
want that
you got,
touch.
if
Money
you know
They want a
that
goes
nice,
that's,
you
exactly.
know.
if you know
Rhonda,
that's
what
what they
kind of
want,
things do you give your boo? You know, when you are dating or when you're in a relationship, what kind of things do you get?
now
But
if you know,
what he
Mr. E?
likes, like he likes like gift cards to
Yes,
like Home Depot, things like things he's going useful things like that. Yeah.
absolutely.
so she said
That's what I'm
something.
thinking.
She
She
said
said,
something. She said
yeah, gift cards
Home
and things like
Depot,
that.
Home Depot card.
Oh
A
my goodness,
home,
not necessarily.
that's what
You know,
she
men,
just said. She said a
but listen
gift
to this,
card.
Mr. E,
She ready to put him to work.
men love pedicures, they love manicures, they
Give it
love
to him.
massages, they love
Yeah,
fragrances. Look,
yeah,
my son has a company called Beard Gods, you
yeah,
know, things that help groom a man. You
yeah.
know, it's just like, hey,
Men like building things.
Yeah.
Men like you gotta push. I gotta push back, but they like building things. They're doing the little things with their. I don't think
We
that's
like
like
going
the
to the
worst
movies.
gift, but
We like going to the movies. We like dinners
movies,
too. We
movies,
like going
going
to
out with the
Applebee's
movies.
Bar.
That's great. That's great.
We like bracelets and we like rings. We like watches. We just don't want a hammer and a nail and a screwdriver. We just don't want a pair of socks that you got from the dollar store and with a golf man on it. And we don't play no golf.
I tell you what, Rhonda has put down in the chat her book. You can give him a book. You can give him a romance with a man. You guys that's viewing us, would you read a good novel? Would you read a good romance book? Would you read, you know, something that takes you out of the work zone? And so, you know, we're going to encourage you all to get Rhonda's book. She has the information down on the chat. And, you know, because we're having such interference with her feed, we're just going to, you know, tell her thank you so much for being on, sharing her information. There she is popping in again. And Rhonda, we want to say thank you. Thank you for the work that you did for us with FYI when we first started. Thank you so much for writing. I can't wait to get the book and you know, find out more about it, because to me, I love getting out of the box with books. I'm a reader. I'm a writer. I love books. I really do. And so, you know, I'm really intrigued, especially with your title, and would love to purchases. So I will look for that information, and I encourage those that are with us to um, get Rhonda to uh, even come out. Rhonda, do you go out and speak?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And thank you for having me on your show.
And thank you. And we're going to have to, you know, pull you in when we can get you on another device. It was really pleasant to talk with you. Pleasant to see you. You look really great. You look well. Um, I'm under the impression that you're working smart, not hard. And just want to say thank you so much. for taking your time to be on with us. A great topic, it's a great topic, talking about love, talking about travel, talking about interracial relationships, Mr. E. That
That's
is
right.
amazing. We really got to touch on that on FYI morning show
And
about relationships and how we can, get better. I'm going to also listen to the documentary. I'm going to look at the documentary of the Royals and see what we can, talk about. Rhonda, any last words before you pop off again?
Y'all have a great day and check out my stories online. All right, have a great one. All right,
All right. Thank you so much.
thank you. Have a great night.
and
Good
don't forget
night.
to put that information in our chat.
Yeah,
I
she
will.
put it in there already. So
Okay.
yeah, Mr. E, I just want to make a few announcements and tell everybody about our morning show. We are live in the morning, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Mr. E, can you tell them what stations that we're on, platforms as well?
I want to let everybody know that you can join FYI Radio Show on 4 radio stations. That's 88 WMVA, 88.9 Peace, 95.3 WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350. And you can also join us on Facebook. You can join us on LinkedIn. You can join us on Facebook, YouTube, or every social media platform there are. We're on almost 7 or 8 different platforms all over the world, and you can hear us all over the world. We're not just in the 757. We're not, let me say that again. We're not just in the 757. We're heard all over the world, from Iraq to Iran, from Africa to the Netherlands to back into the United States. You can hear FYI Radio Show. And the blessing part about it, we are not pre-recorded. We are live.
Absolutely.
We are a live radio show. We don't have to put this in the icons and keep it in a box. And when we get ready to put it back out there, it's on 24 hours. It's on every platform. All you got to do is go and look for FYI Radio Show, hosted by Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton. And guess what? I'm Ed Everett, and you can hear us any time of the day or night you want to check us out.
Absolutely. So look, don't forget to join us. If you want to be a special guest sponsor, intern, Mr. E's going to give you that information in a minute. But don't forget, I wanted to just make some announcement. Our Young Women Achieving Success mentoring program has taken place, and we're up and popping. We got girls in the program, but we have room for more. And so if you have a young lady, a niece, a granddaughter, a cousin, a next door neighbor that is 10 years to 17 years old, we would love to have her. We're in Chesapeake, Virginia, at the South Military Highway, 1765 South Military Highway. You all can come out at 6:00 p.m. and be a part of the program. Or you can call me at 757 287 6792 and say, I want my daughter in your free program.
Yeah,
And I tell
free.
you what, we will welcome her and welcome her to the sisterhood. You know, we see the Deltas and the AKAs and all the sororities, that sisterhood coming together, their Founders Day. And so, our young ladies can start off young with the sisterhood. They can start off young, being friends and knowing how to really blend with other young ladies and have things in common and, do activities and just learn together. And so this program, is there to develop young leaders and that sisterhood. And so if you all would, please spread the word. Crystal Community Development Corporation Young Women's Achieving Success Program. And we would love to have you all. Also, I just want to say thank you to those that have bought the book. Bullying is right underneath your nose. You all can get it on Amazon, on Kindle, on iTunes. You can get it at acxaudible.com, wherever books are sold. Book Baby. Thank you all so much that are buying it. Thank you all so much that are buying the Audible. It just makes me feel good. It's in Spanish. It's in English. And you can have that book. The links are on our social media pages as well. And you can get that link. I really would appreciate it. And I thank you all again for what you do and how you have blessed us. Mr. E, you have any announcement?
I just want to let everybody know, don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10. Don't forget to have your daughter, your young lady, to go to join the Miss Hinton's and the young girls as they. I got distracted because I got the TV up here on too. Don't forget to join Young Women's Achieving Mentoring Program. Call Miss Hinton and let her know that you have a young lady. I mean, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. That will help them to rise above mere survival. Don't forget the ladies' pies. That's right.
The royal
The
ladies.
royal ladies' pies. Don't forget to get your pies. You can order them anytime. You can order them right now. And all she
That's
has to
right.
do is send you an invoice by. And don't forget, if you want to be a special guest, get the Audible book. Don't forget to get the book. The book, Bullying is right underneath your nose, is in two languages. Is in Spanish and it's also in English and it's also Audible. All you have to do is call 757-287-6792 and say, I want our inbox, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and let them know you would love to have that book. That's it.
Absolutely. The
That's it
Royal
for me.
Ladies Pies at 757-470-0224. If you want to order, you can do that. Inbox me. Also, hey, Miss Annie Miles, good to see you. Crystal Records, we have something that's going to come up. It's
Yeah,
going to be
not
a
yet.
minute, but we're going to launch a
Yeah,
project that's been in, that's been in the, what do you call it, in the archives.
in the
And so,
archives.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so anyway, we want to say thank you again. Thank you, Mr. E. Thank you, Rhonda, Cheryl Jackson, for being a part of our show this evening. And we're going to see you all on Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. Please join us. And so we can continue our discussions and breaking news and various topics.
That's right.
God bless you, Mr. E. Tell them how they can be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI.
I want to say good afternoon to Miss Sheila Robbins. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, After Dark. FYI After Dark. I hope that y'all enjoying us coming on After Dark. We just that we being nice about it because we want to get into some deeper and some deeper and some deeper thoughts, just like we was talking about these gifts that we give folk on Valentine's Day. Listen, men should never have to come to a lady and say, I want this, 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 and this. It's the thought behind the gift that you're getting. And if you feel like your man deserves the very best, get him the very, very best. All right. All right. And if you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor, give us a call at 757-714-7861. Again, that telephone number is 757-714-7861. Or you can inbox us at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or you can go to email and email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com.
We want to apologize for our technical difficulties. It wasn't, we're trying to pull in, great shows and stuff, but sometimes that's how it is. It is what it is. And so, again, we are going to make sure we give you nothing but the best, great shows. We're going to do it in excellence, but give us a
That's right.
little bit of grace so we can just pull things together. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. You all are a blessing. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you on Wednesday. Be blessed. Have a wonderful evening.
That's
Thank you,
right.
Mr. E.
Thank you, Miss Hinton. And don't forget to tune in to the Dallas Cowboys as they take off on tonight.
8 o'clock is almost that time.
That's right.
Look, we got guys up here now telling you, Mr. E, it's time for you to look at the game. So,
Well,
hey,
see, all of them that'll chiming in. Mr. Mark Howard, he's a Commander fan, so he's gonna be glued to the scene, to the tube. Miss Ann Myers gonna be glued to the tube because them are all the haters. They got batteries today. They got they got
that's
their
cold.
nuggets today. You know, Miss Hinton, and the fan base gonna be off the chain in Tampa, Florida. But not only will the fan base be off the chain in Tampa, but as the TV screen, everybody
Mhm.
gonna be up for the rest of the evening. And some folks have already taken naps so they can sit up and watch the greatest team in the whole wide world play tonight.
Well, you all see Mr. E representing. He got all his cowboy. He got the stars everywhere. Look at him. He got got a room. His man cave. Look, Mr. E, you got everything in there. Tell us what some of the things you have in there.
I got pillows. I got pillows. I got jerseys. I got gloves. I got socks. I got statues. Yeah, I got bibs. I got baby shoes. I got I got you name it. Totem poles. I got it all right
Do
here.
you have blankets? Do you have sneakers? Do you have all that stuff?
I got it all. I got stars. And here's something that folks need to get. Not only do I have that, but if I'm sitting in my man cave and it's getting a little cool, if I'm sitting in my man cave, Miss Hinton, and I'm getting a little chilly, here's a blanket. Here's a
This is
hooded
a true
blanket.
blue fan.
Here's a hooded blanket that you can put on. It's a jacket. It's a
A
blanket.
true.
It got hand warmers here that you can put your hands in. And guess what? You don't have to move nowhere. You can enjoy the game.
A true blue fan. Mr. E, we're going to sit back. I know I'm going to look at the game. I know you guys are going to be looking at it and you're going to keep it locked. Tracy Porter is a Cowboy fan. She's going to definitely be in the screen.
She
So,
knows.
anyway, you all make sure you get your popcorn and all that good stuff, your snacks, and enjoy the game this evening. Mr. E, thank you so much. We can go ahead now and just enjoy the Cowboy game. And let's see who went now. Look, prediction. Let's get Mr. E's prediction before he goes.
My prediction, and I want everybody to know it. I said it today on our radio show today. I told everybody that the Dallas Cowboys gonna beat the Tampa Bay 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 41-17.
Ooh, we
The
shall
bookies,
see.
the bookies
Anybody
have
want to put a bet on it?
the bookies have that Dallas Cowboys gonna win by that got them up by 3%. So hey, guess what? Money talk.
Ooh, Kobe Harris said, "Well, tonight is the night, Eddie. Everybody's watching. Them boys." So
Well,
anyway, enjoy yourself. Get your goodies, get stuff, and just sit in front of there, stay warm, and enjoy the game. God bless you all. See you on Wednesday.
two up, two down, and don't forget we're the longest talk show that's been running in the 757. We've been on for 7 years. Everybody else can't handle it. Yeah.
Listen, you got to pull those statistics up. But anyway, God bless you all. Good night.